feeling that by the end of this evening, I'm going to be blamed for everything that's ever happened.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah, why not?
And welcome back to Hannity. We're in the spin room. We're at Hofstra University, and earlier, RNC Chairman Reince Priebus joined me with reaction to tonight's big debate. Let's take a look. All right, joining us now is Reince Priebus in the spin room and chairman of the RNC. Overall picture, who won the debate?
I thought it was a great night for Donald Trump. And, you know, he did exactly what he needed to do. Presidential, measured, even restrained. And I thought that was a good thing. I think it's
like
exactly
that, especially at the end of the debate. He was very clear. I can go there.
Right, but I think what he was saying, too, is like, I'm not putting these kinds of things in my advertisement.
There's your guy right there.
So
He's saying how great you did.
Thank you.
By the way, you got 92% on Drudge.
92%.
How did you do tonight? Not bad.
How's he doing? Good?
He's doing really well. He's a good advocate for you.
We're going to make him a superstar if we win.
I think you're right.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
All right.
There you go. You never know what's going to... No, we're not. No, that's all staying. But, so, you know, one of the things that really stood out to me, all right, she's going to raise taxes. She wants more regulation, tax the rich. It's just that old liberal cliche on everything. And I'm thinking, okay, we just did this for 8 years. Here are the numbers. I talk about them every day. Worst recovery since the 40s, lowest labor participation since the 70s. We doubled our national debt. We've got African Americans disproportionately impacted. You got 12 million more Americans on food stamps and 8 million more in poverty. Well, those are not good numbers.
But here's what he did very well tonight. Essentially what you're saying, but he did it a little different way. He said, wait a second. You're slinging all these details at me about all the things you're going to do about ISIS, all the things you're going to do with our foreign allies. And you were uniquely situated, like no one else on the face of the earth to actually do it, even as Secretary of State, and you didn't do it. So what makes us think that now that you're trying to dazzle us with these plans, that they're actually going to make a difference? The other thing I thought was interesting, with all the memories that Hillary has about every word and every sentence that came out of Donald Trump's mouth, she remembered them all. But she couldn't remember 39 times when the FBI interviewed her about what she did with her emails, whether she went through training, whether she signed certain forms. Couldn't remember anything.
She couldn't remember even being briefed.
Right.
That's pretty amazing.
Yet she can remember every little snippet interview that Donald Trump ever gave, whether it was to Howard Stern or someone else, remembers it all.
Yeah.
But can't remember a darn thing about when she was Secretary of State, and all of our employers are now pleading the Fifth Amendment.
Yeah.
Pretty remarkable.
It was interesting for my name to come up. It's a funny story, and I was telling it earlier that I was surprised I actually remembered it. He had brought it up in another interview not that long ago, but we had friendly knockdown, drag-out telephone conversations over Iraq, and he kept telling me how wrong I was. To this day, I think it was the right thing. The only thing I think we'd made a mistake on is we pulled out.
Withdrawal, yeah.
And we won Mosul, Ramadi, Tikrit, Fallujah, Baghdad, and then we pull out. And we have to ask, why are we sending kids to war if we're going to allow people like her to politicize it?
And the other big point that's missed in all of this is that she was regardless of where you're at on this issue, she was the senator that took the vote.
Exactly.
Her finger pressed the green button on the floor of the Senate. And he was a private citizen just talking about issues. Now, I'm not saying that you don't get held accountable.
He said to Howard Stern this, I guess so. I guess so is not a vote for the Iraq war.
I understand. Yeah. Exactly right. Yeah. And so she portrays herself to the American people as an expert in foreign policy. But on this issue that she thinks is a big mistake, she made the mistake. I remember
the first call wasn't even necessarily about the wall. I remember the first thing he said, if you got to fight, take the oil. First thing he said, so he's been consistent on that over the years. Here's the big picture, though. On the Supreme Court, on vetting refugees, on building a wall, on tax policy, she wants higher taxes, he wants lower taxes, he wants to repatriate, on energy, on Obamacare, on saying radical Islam. There's such a distinct difference. This is the biggest choice election, from my perspective, in our lifetime.
Well, and anytime you have a choice election, it's the electorate that measures the risk, how much risk to get the change.
Right.
And it's the same thing that happened to Ronald Reagan. How much risk to get the change. And so as people see Donald Trump, like tonight, he pulled back. It's true. He pulled back a few punches. He definitely did. But I think he's also showing the restraint to the American people that he's prepared to be president. I don't need to take every shot there is. I don't need to go, 10 miles deep on this email story. We all know he took a shot on the emails, but he wasn't obsessed with it. And I think that showed the restraint that he needed to tonight.
Reince Priebus, thank you so much.
Thank
Good
you.
to see you.
You bet.
Appreciate it. Thanks.